Hello everyone, I'm here with MagicM8Ball from Pirates in Pyjamas. And I'm here to talk to him today about a lot of things for patch, OWCS, and how he thinks his team will do. But I want to start at the beginning maybe, and could you tell those of us who maybe aren't as familiar a little bit about your team, how long you've been together, and how you sort of formed?
I think Pirates in Pyjamas has been around for like 2 years, like since Overwatch 2 came out. Because I think it was like Lep's team originally, Lep and ICV, the team like 2 years ago. I think the core of them have been around for like the past like 6 months, like past couple contender seasons, at least in summer, like Strider and some others. And I joined 1 minute before roster lock, so that's how long I've been there.
A little bit less of a dramatic roster lock or roster mania for you and some others then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure even back on London, I remember warming up against sort of like Strider and Stone and maybe this core of players before as well. So how does it work in the team? You know, like some teams maybe like share a lot of the calling responsibility, or some of them are maybe just have like one guy who calls everything. What does that look like within your team?
I think it's mostly like me and Strider, and then Stone when he's in, and then I mean that's not true. It's mostly everyone, but I think consistently it's me and Strider, and like because we're in every time in Divinity, I guess.
And do you have like? Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, that's all. That's all I can think of.
As well as, so lots of teams will have like a tactical leader, but some will also have, I guess, like an emotional leader or like a sort of captain type figure. Is there someone like that on your team if things are going wrong or things are going bad who sort of rallies for troops?
I don't really think so. I feel like that's our coach Mercury more than an actual player. I wish it was also a player, but no, she does her job well, so it works. Or not her job, she's a coach as well, but she does her other job well.
And how much input do you have? Because obviously there's some teams in America who definitely have like sort of a full resource for full salary situation. What does your sort of help and staff look like?
It's definitely not a dictatorship. It's no Florida. We're for VODs, like it's everyone usually. I think that's pretty much how every team I've been on has been. I don't think I've ever been like in like a full everyone listens to the stat everything type of thing. I bet that experience changes a little more with like the orgs and stuff though. Bigger orgs. Like the PXG is really nice to us as well. They made us nice banners, I think. I need to put mine up still, but they made us nice banners.
Oh.
Thanks.
That's not pretty
good. For you guys.
And how does your practice schedule look? Because obviously we see sometimes like Toronto are like triple blocking and able to dedicate quite a lot of time or something. How does yours compare to that on sort of like an average week?
I have class today. We have some blocks during my class today. Stone also has class today. So a lot of our players have class and work. It's actually very hard to fit in. Somehow yesterday we fit in a 9-hour shift, and that was pretty grueling for a lot of us. Not really used to it, I think. Even I haven't done that for a while, so it was definitely a little bit of a surprise. So I think we're not getting as much compared to other teams, but so I guess we have to kind of make up for it in effort and stuff and quality. Like prep for the practice and stuff to make sure it's actually good.
Because one of the things that's probably made it harder as well is the frequent patch changes that have dropped throughout the tournament. So how has your team's experience been because you've almost had to play across, well, once you play this weekend, 3 different patches or like one patch, new patch, and back to somewhat of the old patch?
I mean, I kind of wish it was on the last patch. I mean, last patch was more fun, but also biased reason we have a really good Sombra. So if you can make her broken, I would really love that. I was really upsetting to see that they nerfed it mid scrim. By the way, we said check your health. When we all like our jaws dropped. It was like the second plane is okay. Yeah, it was very upsetting news.
So how does it sort? Because obviously, is this one especially is almost 48 hours essentially. So you only get like 1.5 days practice. How do you sort of go about approaching? What do we even play now, or what do we do with the comps, or how do you even start to try and solve that problem so quickly?
Well, I think we have have a few more blocks until match day. I think I don't know. We've had like a different philosophy to the patch, anyways. We kind of figured that we'd end up switching comps like before match day last week, so we were like really focused on just perfecting like how we execute our plays with the comp, regardless of heroes. So yeah, that way we at least have some sort of advantage on some of the teams. We were also getting no scrims like the last couple of weeks. I'm not gonna lie, no one wanted to scrim us at all. I don't know why. So, I mean, maybe our fault, but so we really had to focus on like getting like certain things down for sure. So we at least had like one thing constant going into match day.
Yeah, well, hopefully now you've secured top 8. Surely that'll at least help a little bit with the scrims in theory.
Yeah, in theory.
So the bracket's changed a few times back and forth, and you now find yourself obviously still timeless in the first match, but also on the Toronto side of the bracket. So how do you feel approaching taking timeless on initially?
It's gonna be really nice. It's like all my old teammates pretty much, like multiple time teammates, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Dude, they kicked me from their friend chat, man. They kept accidentally leaking stuff. I had to remind them, like, hey, I'm gonna play you guys in like one day. So I just had to remove me for safe. Yeah. And so that's gonna be a lot of fun playing those guys. We're all pretty excited. I think, to be honest, like I've no idea how much of a chance we have anymore. Before, I'd say like actually pretty good chance on the old patch. I have no clue now. I'm hoping it's still good because no one knows where anyone is right now. So, but I have faith in us. I think to have, so we can. We definitely think we can make it to Friday somehow. At least we'll figure it out from there.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people's power rankings in very much been thrown out the window with the patch change as well. Like, so hard to get a read on everyone's level or even where everyone's going to play.
I think it's the goal for everyone right now is just make it to Friday. And then we figure it out from there. Watch everyone else play.
Exactly. Get one more day of practice. Get to see all the European teams, all the other American teams. Yeah. Hopefully someone has a good answer. And then, because obviously, I guess like in an ideal world, you'd love to win every game and win the tournament. But also, with a lot of like strong competition in America, is there another... What would counter success for you and the team in this tournament? Like, how far would you have to get to sort of say, oh, actually pretty happy with that?
I guess doing a little better than what we think we can do. So like before that would have been like, I think before we thought we definitely like top 4 would be very nice. Right now we're just like, oh my god, we're so panicked. 5th 6 would not be bad. Like we're okay with that. Also, yeah, our bracket's pretty. Like I think we definitely do have the worst double EV bracket. Oh, no, we don't. LFO is the worst. We have the second worst because if we lose, we play LFO. I didn't realize how bad ours was, but I was still complaining because the double bracket doesn't really make so I was so upset because it's like you add the seeds up and it's 20 at the top and 16 at the bottom. And why is it like lopsided? It's the matches, whatever, like you can't make it right because of the group stages or whatever. That's fine. But why don't you just switch the 2 C and D matches so that both halves of the bracket are even? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Because the expectation would be it's like 1 and 4 or 1 and 4 and then 2 and 3 or something like that, right? And then
no, because it's I don't. Yeah, I think so.
Because that's
yeah.
So they've now swapped away from that and to.
Yeah, why? Sorry. It's whatever. It's whatever. I don't want to complain too much. Now that it benefits me, it looks really stupid for me to complain. But I was just upset, like, why would you even do that before?
Yeah, it seemed all to happen quite last minute and a very confusing thing for like both North America and the EMEA region. But as it stands, let's say if the bracket goes as expected, and I guess maybe people would expect Timeless and Toronto to move on, you would get that lower bracket match against LFO. How would you feel about stacking up into that team comparatively?
I think we have a pretty good chance. Like, I was on that team before roster lock as well. I was on the team, I think, 10 minutes before roster lock. And then also 2 days before roster lock. So 2 times. I think we have a good chance against them as well, but I really can't be sure. The match is so it's so strange. It shouldn't change that much, to be honest. It's just really offset. I think it's more so like the mental thing for a lot of teams. That just throws everything up in the air, even though not much has changed. So I don't know how to say we do. I think that team, we're definitely pretty sure. It's like reasonable chance we could beat
competitive.
versus
Yeah.
Timeless right now is a lot harder than it was 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you a little bit because one thing this OWCS system does compared to the Overwatch League system is it puts everyone into the same pool essentially. So all the teams can play against all the teams, and it gives a lot more opportunity for maybe players who don't have an Overwatch League history or even necessarily a contenders history to come through and play against these top teams and potentially make a name for themselves. And you obviously experienced something quite similar in the Pro AM, I think, on Trick Room, where you were able to take down Shock, and obviously for you and a lot of the players on that team, sort of put your names on the map a little bit more than you would have been otherwise. So was that a big thing that happened, like post Pro AM? Did you find it helped you in terms of your own opportunities to get on teams and get opportunities afterwards?
I think it was pretty helpful because that team, that old Trick Room team had, I'm pretty sure, like going into our first, we had played one contender season before that, and we came 8th in that season. So who even cares? That was like everyone on our team's like first season, and if it wasn't their first season, they had never won a game. So like I think it definitely, like right now, you might not think it did much, but I guess looking at the Wikipedias back then, it definitely did a lot. So like a win here could be really big for a lot of us as well. Even for a couple of us who've been around for longer, it could be very big, I think, given the circumstances.
I think, compared to maybe the Pro AM, which only happened once right at the start of the year, this new system is going to be sort of 4 chances throughout the year to sort of play and impress, and you can even maybe sort of like bump your way up as you go along the year in theory.
Yeah, I mean, also the Pro AM like doesn't really matter. This one actually matters. If you win this one, people actually care, I think, which is pretty important. Yeah, so definitely wins here. Really, really good for everyone, I think. It's much better system for contenders players stuff.
Do you think there's a chance as well? Because there's one argument with sort of these frequent patch changes is it creates a lot of chaos, but does the chaos inherently favour sometimes the underdog team? In that, maybe if we were on a patch where Toronto or Timeless have just been playing the Doom comp or whatever and got really good at it, and now they're forced to change and adapt as well, it sort of almost evens the playing field a little bit for everyone?
Yeah, I think so. The last patch was already pretty chaotic. I don't know. It's actually not that bad for us this patch, but it's just definitely the first. I think I'm like all biased. The first block after was very confusing, I think, but I think we're fine now. I think that we can lean into the chaos a little. To be honest, it's again, like I said, not that different though from the one that we did. This actually might be more similar to the one that was being played before, so it's almost
like a revert,
less chaotic. Yeah, it's almost less chaotic. Yeah. I don't know. They should just make us play like we could have like chess boxing or something for the matches instead if we want to keep everyone on their toes. Work out.
And then the last thing I wanted to ask you, if you had to put your money where your mouth was, and you can't say your own team, but who do you think's the favourite for this tournament? Who's winning it for North America?
Toronto's the fan favorite. I think Toronto's the real favorite. I can't even argue with that. I like the Timeless guys a lot. I actually think like they're still being super underrated. But like it's still Toronto, I think, over them as it stands.
You think Timeless is the closest then, sort of in that?
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of stuff is they're being underrated a lot. I think I shouldn't talk about too much. They're going to be about to be talked to. So they're also my old teammates. So I feel like I just felt like I have to talk about it. But
mixed loyalties here.
Yeah, they're good. We're good. We hopefully, if we beat them here, they can run through the losers bracket and we can meet them again. That's the plan.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and obviously good luck to you and the team for this weekend's games.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.